Longtime Republican and former speechwriter for President George W. Bush is sounding the alarm on why he believes the Trump presidency is a threat to American democracy. David Frum writes in his new book, Trumpocracy, The Corruption of the American Republic, the thing to fear from the Trump presidency is not the bold overthrow of the Constitution, but the stealthy paralysis of governance. Not the open defiance of law, but an accumulating subversion of norms. Not the deployment of state power to intimidate dissidents, but the incitement of private violence to radicalize supporters. And David Frum joins us now. So, David, this is troubling stuff. It's like you're the canary in the coal mine, or you're trying to play that part, and it sounds like you're trying to sort of shake all of us into awareness of all of the troubling signs you see. Yes. But why do you think it's so much worse than so many other people think?
When people think about what to fear for their government, they imagine a kind of anti-democratic heart attack. There's some dramatic event, the body keels over, one moment the country was free, the next there are police in the streets, and by the way, that gives you time to be a hero, because until the police are in the streets, there's nothing you need to do. I think what is happening to America is not like a heart attack, it's like gum disease. It is a slow corrosion, a slow rot that can spread through the body and ultimately kill you, but because it happens step by step, people do not act in time when they could.
Aren't you giving President Trump a lot of credit? I mean, he's only one man. Isn't democracy stronger than that?
A democracy is stronger than that. If he were just the one man, there would be no danger at all. And the story of the book is the story of how Trump is enabled and given permission and supported by people who make deals with him. You know, many of the Republican members of Congress are as privately alarmed about Donald Trump as anybody else. But they have things they want from him. They want his signature. They want him to look the other way. And he wants things from them. He wants protection. He wants them not to investigate his wrongdoing. Right now, the President of the United States is receiving unknown millions of dollars in payments from foreign business partners in Turkey, in India, in the Philippines.
Because he didn't divest from his Trump organization.
His Trump organization.
His empire.
How many millions is the president receiving in payments from foreign people who write his checks? You know,
how do we get the answer to that?
Well, he has to tell us. Let me just give you a dramatic is. The person in the Philippines who signs Donald Trump's checks is now the Filipino ambassador to the United States. Normally, the president of the United States has authority over ambassadors to the United States. In this case, the ambassador has authority over him.
You write in the book, until the U.S. presidential election of 2016, the global decline of democracy seemed a concern for other peoples in other lands. A matter for U.S. policy, yes, but not for America's internal affairs. The complacent optimism has been upended by the political rise of Donald Trump. The crisis is upon Americans here and now. Again, an ominous warning, but he is only at, mid-30s in the approval numbers. So why do you think that most Americans are going to fall to this?
He's at mid-30s in the approval numbers. 2 weeks ago, the Senate Judiciary Committee, the committee that confirms judges and prosecutors, filed a criminal referral against a witness against Donald Trump, Christopher Steele, the author of the famous dossier. Christopher Steele has done nothing wrong, but it is he who is to be punished. The Department of Justice, meanwhile, is shutting down, has started up again prosecutions against Donald Trump's political opponents, Hillary Clinton most recently, even as investigations against Donald Trump are silenced, shut down, intimidated, the weight of public opinion brought to bear on them. Donald Trump governs with a plurality of a plurality. He has most of the people inside the stronger of the two political parties. He can leverage that into real power.
So what you're saying about Republicans, I want to touch on that, because it does seem as though Republicans in Congress are happy that they're getting their long-awaited tax reform done. They're something's going to happen with immigration. They're rolling back regulations. And if Donald Trump is the vessel for all of that, so be it. And that's the deal that they're making. But you think it's more dangerous than that?
That is the deal they're making, but the price goes up and up and up. The price is not just that you look away when the president makes wild remarks. The price is that the president is demanding that Republicans be his partners in shutting down investigations into, for example, the intervention of Russia in American politics, against which the United States is still defenseless. Donald Trump, not only, in order to conceal his own wrongdoing, has failed his responsibility to protect the country.
What is the solution from where you sit?
The solution, and I'm beginning to see signs of it already, because as anxious as I am in the book, I see signs of hope, is civic engagement. Donald Trump was a judgment on the country for not being good enough citizens. We have to be better citizens, be more engaged. Everyone who's involved with media has seen how much more intensely viewers and readers care about what they're hearing and seeing. We have to elect members of Congress who will hold the president to account. But above all, we have to develop a spirit of responsibility for our institutions. You know, it wasn't that long ago that a lot of people who today abhor Donald Trump made a hero out of Edward Snowden, and said all those agencies of investigation and national defense that we rely on to protect ourselves against people like Donald Trump, they're the villains. I think a lot of people now know better, that the institutions challenged by people like Edward Snowden are precisely those that protect the country.
There is another Women's March this weekend, by the way, in terms of civic engagement, just throwing that out there.
That's important.
David, thank you very much. The book is Trumpocracy, The Corruption of the American Republic. Thanks so much for talking about it with us.